Mm, mm. Oh, we went live.
The crap you get away with.
Hit that button. Hit it like that.
We seriously need to make you like a giant live button with some like Dustin's giant band hammer and just like smack the thing at the start of every stream.
I smashed it.
Oh my gosh.
Spank that button.
Here we go again.
So how you doing down in LA, man?
Well, actually, I'm technically not in LA. I'm about an hour north of it, and it has been hot as heck out here. I thought Florida was bad. Nah, come out here and it's almost worse.
Man.
Yeah. How's the weather been up there?
It's actually been pretty nice. It's like in the 70s. It's been really nice.
That's not bad considering that you get a lot hotter than we do.
Yeah. I see we got Rover in the house. We got Greg the Great.
And Wellbot just popped his little head in.
What's up, Wellbot? Man.
How many people we got?
According to this, we got 5.
Nah. Oh, your Aunt Nancy's in here.
Aunt Nancy's in there. We got Red Light in the house. We got all the usual suspects.
Where's Daniel Naray, though? He's a usual suspect. Where's Angus? Where's Joel?
Oh, well, they're still all in bed right now.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, goodness. Well, I didn't think we had a subject for tonight, but then Calvin told me, yes, we do.
I come up with subjects at the last minute. It's like the history of the show, practically.
What's the subject you want to talk about?
Well, the subject that I want to talk about is partly due to MikeBit3D, I believe it is, on Twitter, asking like a very general question, like what's your biggest irritation in 3D printing these days? And Jeff, being that he did the Print 3D 365 project and 3D printed probably over 365 models, he had a good point that it's really frustrating when you go to download something off, say, Thingiverse or something, and then you get the model, and it's crap. And there's feedback of me I can hear.
I don't know why you're hearing feedback.
Yeah, I'm hearing myself talking.
I got you turned down. There, now talk.
Okay. I can still hear myself.
Well, that's on your end. It's not my problem.
Okay, I'm just making sure nobody has to hear me twice.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, I mean, there's well, let's face it. Was it My Mini Factory? They make sure something is printable before they even allow it to go live. You figure whenever you upload something to Thingiverse, it's got to go through the process of having the computer generated picture of the item that you uploaded. You would think that that'd be a good chance for them to just go ahead and do a quick little test to see whether or not it's watertight.
Yeah, and the thing I will say is, having uploaded a bunch of models to Shapeways, you know, it's annoying when you go to upload something and you didn't realize there's an error with the model and it goes, hey, we can't print that because there's an error. But at the same time, it's nice being able to see that. They'll show you a heat map of the model that shows what's, you know, good, what's probably going to work, but is like at the limit of what you're doing. And then red is stuff that it's concerned about. And there's sometimes where it's like the red stuff is not that big of a deal.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't had that big of a problem with stuff on Thingiverse, to be quite honest with you. And what times I have had a problem, I take it over to Tinkercad and fix it, and it's good to go.
Yeah, and there's definitely, you know, nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying it's kind of frustrating when you go to, you know, print a model, or you download the model of something that's really unique and you go to print it, and then there's issues with it and you're like, really? Come on, we can do better than this. So I think the main thing is, it's a little bit frustrating when you go to download something, or especially if you bought something and it doesn't work. That's really annoying.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're going to spend money for something, it's got to work. And if it's where it doesn't, that's just not right. But when it's free, I mean, it's free.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that, you know, we should just go around and sweep out all the crappy models that are out there. Some of them may just need a little bit of tuning to make them work, but it is a little bit annoying when it feels like this is 2018. We got printers pretty darn reliable, we got cheap filament pretty darn reliable, and now the biggest hiccup is files. But I think that'll always be an issue, is people are just going to upload stuff that they may not realize is not even printable.
Yeah.
You know, it's one thing if you're Angus and you're making your nasty torture lattice cube or your giant or your little puzzle block thing. That's cool, but those are intentionally designed to stress your machine. You know, those are intentionally designed to be nasty.
By the way, Rover shared my Gleam 7,000 subscriber deal. Thank you very much, Rover, for sharing that. I'll go ahead and I'll pop that in there one more time. There it is. Definitely, if you guys haven't already, smash that link, go over there, and well, of course, after the show, but I'm giving away printer and stuff and things.
Hey, all I can say is, especially for somebody who wants to get into 3D printing, or if you know somebody who wants to get into it, man, that would be epic if somebody who like wanted a 3D printer and doesn't have one, or somebody who knows somebody who really wants one, wins it and gives it to them. Man, that nothing says welcome to 3D printing like your own printer.
Right. Especially a free one.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, or even if you do printing, it's nice getting a roll of filament and a pair of snips. I mean, I'll be honest. I did a couple of entries into it just for the heck of it. I'm not counting on winning, but you know.
Why not? Would be like, I knew it was fixed. I knew it was fixed.
At that time, we were at the Ultimaker event with Matter Hackers, and I hacked into Mira's computer. No, I'm just kidding.
Let's see here. Let's get back to the chat here. Wellbot just quit the community catch-up stream. I didn't even know they were streaming. Oh no.
Okay. We have the awesome people in here, so you know.
Yeah, we do.
Hooray to you guys. Kudos. We appreciate it.
3D Maker Noob's in here. Printer Noob. 3D Printer Noob.
There's a difference.
Oh, man.
So Wellbot made a good point. He says there's a difference between nasty and non-manifold, though. And yeah, nasty models are ones that are just really difficult to print, and non-manifold ones are ones that actually have errors in the file itself that some slicing softwares can work around, and some of them just take one look at it and freak the heck out.
Hey, Paul, thanks for joining. Let's see. Rover says if he wins, he'll send it to a friend. That'll be cool.
That'd be awesome. Wellbot says the main prize would be great for me since I don't have an FDM printer. If I win second or third, though, give it to someone else. Wink.
Greg the Great. I'm new to 3D printer. I don't own one. I hope I win.
Begging gets you nothing in this situation.
Begging gets you everywhere.
Yeah, I know.
How's that go? I can be bought. No.
For enough filament and enough printers, Jimmy will do lots of things.
I'm such a slut.
Hey, you sold yourself the Gear Best.
No. That was for one printer, and it didn't work.
I know. I'm just teasing. Don't worry.
And Nancy says she needs one.
Well, shoot, just give it to Aunt Nancy then.
3D Printer Noob says he got his at Murph.
One of these days, we need to make the pilgrimage to Murph.
We need to, honestly. Craig says, I like this stream more. Don't tell Travis. know Heather's probably in here watching right now, right?
She's probably flaming you out on Twitter right now, Greg. Be careful.
Greg, Jimmy, I'll do anything for it. Anything.
We always know it's a great stream when Jimmy and Greg are on the same chat.
I really hope I get back there to see Greg someday, though. That'd be cool. There's two people I definitely want to meet on the East Coast, and that's Greg and Carmelo. I want to meet him.
So Wellbot's like, I like all of his streams. Hard to keep up with them, especially when they overlap. Yeah, honestly, it's like TV when there's your three favorite shows on all at the same time and you're playing Ring Around the TV show. Not fun.
Ewan says, Jimmy, are you Hooney? Me so Hooney.
Oh man, that thing is a hot mess of a printer. Oh my god.
Is it?
Well, based off what Angus said, it's just based off the photo he posted of the way the heated bed was wired. I'm just like, this is not 2012, people. We can do better than this.
Are you sure we can? Apparently not everyone can.
Apparently there's some parts of the production world that still think they can get away with 2012 crap in 2018. It's just like, no.
I still want to see one in person. Hooney, if you're watching. Hooney, if you're watching. Me so Hooney.
Maybe if you were nice and you asked Angus and you offered him the shipping label, maybe he'd send it to you.
Oh, God. Could you imagine the shipping to send that over here?
No, thanks. I can only imagine what the A30 is going to cost you to ship.
Yeah. The E180 is going to... It's not a real heavy printer, though, so it might not be so bad.
Why do I keep saying the wrong one?
Because you're saying the one I wish I could be giving away.
The one that I'm dying to see, and when I get back up there, I definitely need to come up with a couple of good projects to do on the A30.
Yeah.
Just because it is such a big machine.
Yeah, like unlike what they say, size does matter.
In 3D printing, oh yes.
Hey, King Random's in. How you doing? Wait, Calvin got a haircut? Yes, he went to a stylist and he got the poofy off to one side.
Yeah. We'll see how much metal's in my hair tomorrow when I go in for an MRI. If it starts doing this, we'll know I have problems.
They're going to say, have you ever done any metal work? And you're going to be like, then they'll probably want to send you in to get some x-rays done before they do anything to you.
Actually, when they called me to confirm the appointment for tomorrow, I was talking to the girl on the phone. I'm like, yeah, and as an FYI, I do metalworking. Do I need to come in for x-rays on my eyes? She goes, let me double check. How long ago have you worked with metal? I'm like, less than a month ago. She goes, yeah, can you come in now for x-rays? I'm like, you got it.
Yeah, they don't want it to like sucking out your eyeball or pushing it into your eyeball or...
No, you don't want that. Every time I've gone in for MRIs, I've always had to check the box. I work with metal. But you got to do what you got to do.
King Random says, Jimmy has been drinking tonight. Why, yes, I have. You can blame it on the Colonel.
All the Colonel's fault.
All the Colonel's fault. Them 11 herbs and spices. Finger licking good.
Lowot said it cost him more money to ship a model that he printed to somebody in Canada than the resin cost to print the model. That's pretty sad.
Yeah. I don't doubt it, though. Kentucky Fried Cola.
People have actually mixed the dredge that you fry with yeah, raccoons getting in the fridge, guys. Don't worry.
What's that?
You guys hear any loud noises? There's a raccoon in the fridge right now, so don't worry.
A raccoon on the fridge.
Yeah, don't worry.
Why do I think there's going to be a hand come by and go to the back of your head? How you doing?
Hey, Jimmy.
You know my ear.
The golfers are back in the garden. This time it's personal. What's that noise? Are you in a Zumba class?
So how you been doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Good.
I was rummaging through Calvin's here, and I can't find any of my favorite food.
Uh-oh. Yeah, Calvin has a tendency of emptying any refrigerator he's near.
And the thing is it never shows. You know, there's no evidence on them.
I know. He's really good at packing away all the extra packages. And
All right. I'll return you guys to your regular scheduled show. Enjoy the
sure nice seeing you. You take care.
That's why when I fly down, I always come down with one suitcase and one backpack, and I fly back with 3 suitcases. It's great.
Look at his backpack. There's some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in there.
Oh, man.
Did he hear me?
I don't know. I had bags of candy in there at some point, but they got eaten up.
It'll be funny if you hear your zipper open, all of a sudden it goes, bingo!
Oh, gosh. Okay, now we got derailed again.
King Random says shipping from China is cheap since government subsidies. I wondered about that because, I mean, they ship stuff pretty cheap from there.
I've heard it's on both ends though, because there's like that e-package from China, which is slow, but you can get decently sized stuff shipped for a relatively cheap price, even though it takes a while.
Yeah. Hooney.
Takes 6 months to come, and they might ship it back and forth 3 times, but you get it eventually.
Eventually they'll get it there.
I mean, case in point, I ordered some paint filters off of Amazon, the ones that are kind of like tapered and they got the mesh at the bottom for when I'm filtering resin, and those are actually coming all the way from Taiwan.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I only paid a couple of bucks.
Mr. Carol Science, what you drinking? Jack Daniels? Captain Morgan? Ever hear of Colonel Sanders? Yeah, the Captain Morgan's what? The one where he's like this with his foot up on a barrel. What's the other one? Jack Daniels. I'm not sure what Jack does. The Colonel Sanders would be like.
Jack is the old number 7. Robot says, I can get free shipping from China more often than not. Yeah. And then King Random says, how do you think eBay free ships a stepper for less than $10?
Exactly.
I have heard though, and this has not been confirmed by me, but I have heard the subsidies are kind of on both sides of the spectrum, both China and on USPS actually.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure what the conversion ratio is between American dollars and Chinese currency in terms of shipping things, but it is pretty frustrating when it costs me like $2.50 to ship a parcel within the United States that weighs very little, and then I can get something like the size of my Tascam delivered for the same price from China.
Right.
You know, you're like, what's going on here? Although I will say my one complaint with the Wish app, at least based off so far, is a lot of stuff doesn't have free shipping, or it's kind of on the expensive side.
Yeah, Wish their shipping is pretty pricey, especially for as long as it takes to get it in. I mean, there are some things on there that you can order and get it same week or maybe the following week, but the majority of the stuff's going to take you about a month or a month and a half before you ever see it.
Yeah, and when you're spending $10 to ship some little audio recorder all the way from China, you're like, okay, maybe that's a more realistic cost of the shipping, but that $3 microphone with the $10 shipping, you're kind of like, oh, might as well just go to Amazon and buy a Behringer for $7 more, you know?
Yeah. Hey, I see Lucky 13's in the house. How you doing, Curtis? Did Greg leave yet? I don't know. Greg, did you leave?
Maybe Greg's hiding like he does.
He's like, Curtis is here? Wait a minute.
The Eon says 70 pence per 100 grams for inside the UK shipping first class. Let me do some conversions on that.
Curtis taking a break from loading the U-Haul. Yeah, I'm losing one of my friends. Well, I'm not losing him, but he's moving far away from me.
So
Instead of being able to just drive like a couple hours north to go see him, now I gotta drive like a few days east.
Yeah, no. It'll be sad, although I am hoping once you get to your new place, you can get back into sticker production because, you know,
Yeah.
stickers. Because I will say, out of everybody who's made stickers, Lucky 13s are seriously the nicest. But considering all that you've had going on, I totally understand that you couldn't, you know, crank them out. But when you can, no rush, you know, stickers.
Stickers. Because stickers.
Okay, so for anybody outside the UK, 70p works out to just about 94 cents in our money, and 100 grams is 3.5 ounces. So actually, shoot, your guys' first class shipping is cheaper than ours.
Greg says no more stickers. Curtis is retired. Curtis says no more vinyl, Greg. No.
Very sad day. Great, now we got to get in the sticker making business.
Ugh. I hear it's a bear to get into.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to, don't get me wrong, I'd order stickers through a third-party company, but I'm always one who tries to support somebody I know whenever I can.
Greg, how about latex? Wink, wink.
Oh, go, Gray. We're not even 22 minutes in and we're already off track.
I didn't even know we were on a track. You're the one that came up with the subject after the fact. It was supposed to be a stuff and things stream.
Well, the topic was stuff and things.
It says Jimmy would have to be hoony to get some latex.
We'll make sure if you do get the Hooney 3D printer in, we'll have to make sure that a box of latex gloves shows up on the doorstep as well while you're assembling it, you know, just because.
If I ever get one of those printers, you know I'm going to be there. Me so hoony. That would have to be in the video.
We all know the first thing that you would print. Screw the calibration cube. Forget the bend sheet. No. You're going to go into Tinkercad and you're going to make a hashtag MisoHooney, print that and be like, done.
So Curtis says, doesn't mean printed stickers aren't coming in the future. Ooh. Now that would be cool.
That would be tight stuff right there.
Tight. Greg says, nope, that is a promise, Curtis.
You guys get as a promissory note, Greg?
Yes, King Random, that definitely would have to be printed on the Hoonie.
You're gonna have to make sure you do this stream like late at night and put a NSFK in there, 18 plus, just to be safe.
Oh goodness.
Oh boy.
So how's the knee holding up?
Not so great. Let's just say that when I saw the doctor yesterday and I told him about, you know, my difficulty when flying and things like that, he went from, oh, that's not good to
That's not normal.
yeah, that's really not good. You mind going in for an MRI? I'm like, I can go in for an MRI. He's like, okay, good, because I want to see what's going on in there. I'm like, yeah, my knee ain't right. So
Lucky 13 says that's my cue to go back to packing. Take care, my friend. Greg's later, babe.
now I get why he's moving.
Oh my goodness.
Have a good one, Curtis. Wishing you seriously all the best with the move. Having done 2 moves from San Francisco to outside LA, yeah, that's not fun.
No, especially what, 2,500 miles?
Yeah,
Yeah.
mine's only about 400. So Red Light is asking, what is wrong with my knee? Honestly, not 100% sure, other than the fact that my knee is known to be missing cartilage in a part of it. Like a part of it got knocked out, and then it also is missing it on the edges of the kneecap. So if I bend it like more than about 90 degrees like that under load, it goes bone on bone. So yeah, but the problem is the swelling around it just in day-to-day walking around and things like that will get bad. But then when you go into an airplane, I live between about 1,000 to 100 and 200 feet above sea level. So the problem is when I go into an airplane pressurized to about 10,000 feet, my knee goes from swollen to really swells up, and it gets extremely, extremely painful. The other week when I was in Florida, it was about a 4-hour flight from SFO to DFW, and then from DFW to Pensacola was another hour and a half. And that 4-hour flight was just like, oh, it was bad. Thankfully, I was able to sleep most of it, and I could watch movies the rest of the time, but it was bad. And even taking like over-the-counter pain meds sort of helps with the swelling. It cuts it a little bit, but it's not like it's, oh wow, it's amazing. It just helps a little bit, but it's not like, oh yeah, wow, I can function again.
So you honestly think it's the air pressure inside the plane causing that?
It is, because as air pressure decreases, because I looked it up, and people who have arthritis will say that when they're flying in an airplane, they notice their joints will swell more and ache more because of the reduced pressure. It causes any fluid in there to expand. That's why anybody who's flown knows when you get a drink, it might be carbonated at sea level. If you get like a Dr. Pepper or something, it doesn't have much fizz at altitude because of the reduced pressure. All the gas is going to get released really quickly. It's an interesting physics thing, but yeah, it is not fun. So the doctor also prescribed me a topical anti-inflammatory cream, but I'm not using
AKA weed cream.
No, it's not weed cream.
How come every time I open up this jar, it smells like a skunk?
Why do I have the munchies right now? So
like King Random says, this is the part that's got me too. But the cabin is pressurized.
Yeah, but it's not pressurized to sea level.
What's it pressurized to?
The equivalent of about 10 to 15,000 feet, depending upon the flight duration.
Really?
Yeah. So like I sent you, though, the air pressure goes from about 14.7 pounds to about 13.9, I think it is, somewhere in that range. So the cabin pressure has actually dropped by 10 psi, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it's like when you do scuba diving, as you go down, the pressure increases, so you have to constantly adjust the pressure in your ears. That's why when you're flying in an airplane, your ears will pop, and some people have a hard time with it because of the reduced pressure causing swelling inside the ear on the eardrum. Yeah. So while it is pressurized though to a much higher altitude, causing lower cabin pressure, which is part of the reason why they think people actually get really tired on flights, is because you have 25% less oxygen in the cabin. It's nothing that's unsafe, but they think it can cause people fatigue because their body's having to work harder to get, kind of like if you go into Colorado and you go into like Denver or something, you're at a higher altitude. So like a markedly higher altitude, if you go high in the mountains, it's the same thing. You'll notice yourself getting tired more quickly because your body's not used to functioning with less oxygen.
Like Paul says, would a compression bandage help?
Not really sure. It might, but the only problem is to get them to do anything. I actually have risked, and I've had it happen before. I've actually accidentally cut off circulation to my lower leg and my foot temporarily once I got it tight enough to do anything. So it might work, but I haven't tried it yet.
By the way, King Random says explains why no food in their fridge. You have a printer printing over there?
No, I don't. We just have windows open because my parents don't have air conditioning.
Ah, I could have swore I heard a printer.
Fridge is running.
Yeah, because you've had it open this whole time. Oh. Hey, Paul.
How's it going, Paul? Yeah, PVG says his ears really hurt when flying. I remember flying with a friend of mine, and she was having a hard time adjusting to the pressure, and it was a miserable flight for her. Not fun.
Skewed 3D. Sup, my 3D peeps? How you doing?
So Mr. Carroll Science had a funny but actually a good point. He goes, community project, print Calvin a new knee.
Yep.
I don't know what. When I go to the MRI place, just to have for my own records, I always try and get a copy of the MRI. So just in case I go to a different doctor, I have the disc that I can bring them to show. And I also have a copy for myself. So if I, was going to a specialist or something, I can show them, here's my MRI from here, here's my MRI from here, and here's my MRI from here. But I was looking, and it is possible to take the data from an MRI and go through a couple of softwares and actually make a model. So what I'm thinking is, if I can get an MRI, a copy of the MRI from the place tomorrow, I'm going to see if I can take that and actually print a model of my own knee from the MRI, see if it's even possible, which would actually be kind of fun to do, just to say I did it. And it'd be fun next time I see the doctor to bring it down and be like, I don't know how totally accurate this is, but here's a 3D print of my knee.
Oh, by the way, 3D printer noob, 3 a.m. Eastern, a short time away, have to go to bed. Thank you for joining. Sure appreciate it.
A good one, dude. We appreciate you East Coast people staying and European people staying up to the wee hours of who knows when.
Well, the European people would be like really, really early in the morning getting up. It's like 6 a.m. over there, isn't it?
Something like that.
Maybe even earlier.
So Red Light said, he had a knee replaced last year, so he knows what I'm going through. Yeah. Danielle's not a doctor, but she's concerned that my knees have gotten to the point, and me as well, that I'm at least going to need a kneecap replacement, if not just a total knee replacement. So we'll see.
Ewan said 4:33 a.m. Ouch.
No thanks.
4:34 a.m. in London. Man. Can't thank you guys enough for joining.
Hey, we genuinely appreciate it. You guys are seriously amazing. Knowing that you guys don't have to stay up and you can always watch it after the fact, but we really, 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 really appreciate you doing that. Like, really appreciate it.
Although your wives are probably saying, so where did you go? Remember that commercial for State Farm? So who is she? It's not a she, it's a guy. What's your name? I forget what was the guy's name, remember?
Jake from State Farm.
Yeah, Jake from State Farm. And she even sounds his. Well, he's a guy, so.
Which is funny because there's somebody that I knew, I'm not going to name which railroad, but there was somebody that I knew whose name was Jake. And one night, a drunk passenger saw his name was Jake and said, "Oh, you're Jake from State Farm." And that was like his running gag name forever. Even after he left, everybody's like, "Yeah, so what about Jake from State Farm?" I'm like, "Oh gosh, not him." It was great.
Let's see that. Paul said, just price shipping on a 1 kilogram roll of filament from Matter Hackers, 38 AUD. What's the conversion for that?
Lots of money in US.
Like a lot.
$1 US, $1 Australian dollar we do is 76 cents American. So how much was it? 38? That's about 29 bucks American.
Man, that's still a lot of money.
That's like a whole roll of filament right there.
Yeah, it is.
So the handicapped donor would ask what he missed. You missed Stefan things. That's pretty much what you missed.
Hey, you missed Calvin's haircut where you got the poofy off to one side. You missed me saying miso huni. Pretty much the same stuff as last week.
Nothing ever changes. I mean, if it's always the same week to week, I wonder why people even tune in. I mean, it's amazing.
It says, Calvin, you either need to cut your hair or put it in a ponytail, maybe pigtails. Oh man, I can see him in pigtails. That's sad.
What? I can't look like Snoop Dogg?
No, you can never look like Snoop Dogg. Not possible. What's your obsession with Snoop Dogg anyway?
Not even gonna get into that. It's really embarrassing.
You don't even smoke weed, so explain this to me. Okay. What's the obsession with Snoop Dogg? Every time you post something on as far as a GIF on Twitter, it's always Snoop Dogg doing the little spanky thing and all kinds of other stuff.
Long story short, when I was in machine shop class in college a couple of years ago, because I had to take it for a certificate, there were two people talking, and they were talking about like joking about nicknames or something, and I was like, yeah, my name's Snoop Dogg, like my nickname's Snoop Dogg. It took one of the guys like 2 seconds to get it. He goes, "All right, you are Snoop Dogg," because me and Snoop share Calvin in common. So that's how my nickname became Snoop Dogg. And then one of the guys who was in there, like every time he'd see me around campus, he'd be like, "What's up, Snoop Dogg?" I'm like, "Oh gosh, Chris."
Then you became C-Dub.
Yeah, but the Snoop will never die. C-Dub is just Snoop reincarnated. Okay, he became Snoop Lion, then he became Snoop Dogg again, then he came back as C-Dub.
The only thing Calvin and Snoop Dogg have in common is the munchies. Mr. Carol Science, cornrows Calvin. Snoop Cat, maybe.
What
Snoop
might
Cat. Although Snoop Catty Cat don't sound quite right.
No.
Greg says, I just realized I could have had Calvin Mills some case feet for me right after ordering them and watching stream. Oh, man.
Well, to be honest, the mill's probably not going to be around the house much longer. It's getting moved out soon, but if you guys need anything milled, let me know now, because in probably about 3 weeks it's going to be in pieces so I can go in a U-Haul.
Man.
Well,
all my friends are moving away. How much longer are you going to be up in San Francisco?
Well, I'm waiting for final confirmation that I did or did not get into the industrial design program. So that'll determine if I really stay up there or not. So we'll see. I'm hoping
Wobot just said something funny. I gotta say it. If I do, I get in trouble. But I gotta say it. For shizzle my nizzle. It goes for shizzle my nizzle. What's the dizzle?
That's on your channel, not mine.
I know. I had to say it. I had to.
Darn
you know my friend Nate, right? We do that all the time.
I don't think I've met him yet, but you told me tons of great stories about him. And your mom, you know, great looks about him the time that he called when you're coming back from the Mexican food place. So, you know.
I got my mom and my white friend in the car. Because I had him on speaker, remember?
Okay, I'll keep it clean.
Oh, that was bad. Hey, Nate. Yeah, my mom and my white friends in the car. Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh, goodness.
Back to the chat. Somebody said meow in chat. And somebody says,
Tigress 18. Meow.
You know, she's probably watching this right now, just dying, laughing, going, yep, I crashed the stream again.
Oh, I got something to say to her. Beth will be over any time now to smack me.
Waiting to see that one happen.
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
3D said, it's your story. Tell the way you want, Calvin, but you should find your own self. Identify and get a haircut already, hippie.
Yeah, you hippie, get a haircut.
One of these days, I'm going to do a stream in a bed sheet, pretending like I'm in some robe or something, just to mess with you guys.
Greg's taking off. Have a good night, Greg. Thank you very much for joining. Say good night to Greg. What's wrong with you?
Sorry, I'm trying to read chat for once. I'm mind blank. Sorry, Greg. Night
Don't
night.
make me reach through this camera and go.
The 400-mile face slap.
Paul's asking, any new 3D printer? Not really. Newest one I have is the A30. Ewan says, purring Jimmy, he's Hooney.
Okay, that's
a good idea right there.
Never die.
That'll be the intro to that. As soon as Hooney sends me that 3D printer, you know, I can go on there and go, me so Hooney. Hey, that's got to sell something. Might not sell printers, but it's got to sell something.
Late night streams with Jimmy.
Oh goodness. Rick, how you doing? He's got to go back to work. Take care.
That's sad. That's very sad.
I know that feeling though. Man.
Oh man.
Help with the flower power. Do you put flowers in your hair, Calvin, when you're up in San Francisco?
I plead the fifth on that one.
You do, don't you?
Actually, I don't think I do. Not unless, something happens in the middle of the night and I wasn't aware.
Do you hug trees too?
Actually, I don't.
Do you walk up to the tree and pat it and say, I love you, tree? And like pet it?
No, I chase him down with a chainsaw.
What about insert George Takaya? Oh my gift. Oh my.
Oh gosh, don't remind me of that email that you showed me, and I'm just like, oh great.
Oh goodness.
Paul's like, I'm glad to do yard work for a living. Yeah, you get to like hug trees all day.
Hug trees, put flowers in your hair, smell the grass, maybe smoke it.
Oh
gosh. My tiger's saying I sense a new persona, Cal.
No, this is me like roasting life at my parents' house. This is the new persona called Calvin being roasted.
Your dad is probably sitting right over there across the table from you, just laughing, isn't he?
Nope.
No?
And no. Oh man. Oh
God, Ewan. Did you read Ewan's comment?
I'm not reading it out loud, but oh gosh.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Hey, what up, my bros? It's Cal the hippie here with some tight vibes,
Cal the hippie.
Vibes. If there's any flowers in the front yard, I can stick in my hair now.
Cal H. They call me CH. So you're going to get the glasses and put Cal H on them?
I actually have some glasses back up at the house that say C-Dub on them. I think I've worn them a couple of times on the show.
Calvin roasted at the parents' house. Sounds like a seasonal assortment.
That would be hilarious to put together in a tin.
White Tiger saying, yes!
Hey, he has the cooking skills.
Yes, I saw that commercial, by the way. Yes. Yes!
Wait, which commercial is that?
I forget what they're advertising, but it's a guy and a gal on the couch, and they start by saying yes, and then the other one goes yes.
Oh, do I even want to know?
I have no idea. I think I'd do with either like satellite TV or internet or something. I don't know what. They've been advertising on Discovery Channel.
Discovery actually used to have some really hilarious commercials back in the day.
Yeah.
Like the three guys is dressed up as meteors coming into Earth. They're talking about the atmosphere, and then the next shot is like them burning, like catching on fire, like the atmosphere. It was hilarious. We could actually come up with a seasonal assortment of, I don't know, like popcorn or something labeled like Calvin roasted. We could have like one that's like hair and one that's hippie and one that's like everything else. There we go. Make millions off of it.
Totally good.
Seeing if I can find the Meteor commercial because it was so funny. I think I found it actually. Yep, I found it. This is back when commercials were good. Everybody watch and get a kick out of it. Oh my gosh, Yvonne's hilarious. He decided, I changed my mind last minute on hiding something in the door. Instead of printing an elephant, I hid a computer mouse and attached a note. Rats, you found me. You clicky British people and your British humor.
Guys, need to post a challenge for us to print, and we can feature it on Twitter like a seasonal thing that we all print together. That's a good idea.
Yes, that's like much type stuff. That just brings like the love of the community together when everybody works on a project together. We just get this communal good vibe going on, and it just blesses all the printers and makes them work so much better.
Okay, hippie, that's enough.
This is payback time.
Hashtag Harry Calvin.
Still waiting on it. Skewed 3D says, year and a half ago, I put 3D printed mouses at everyone's station. On the bottom, it said April Fools with a smiley face. Don't know who designed it, but loved it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is. Calvin the Tank Engine. Yes, someone needs to take that Thomas the Tank Engine and put Calvin's face on the front of it.
No, technically, my name works better as Calvin the Carriage, though. Or Calvin the Coal Car,
Calvin the Coal Burner. You can't be burning wood. You gotta burn coal. Tree hugger.
I'm Calvin the Clean Coal Engine. Danielle says it's a bad idea. I think it's a great idea.
Oh man,
this is a disaster of a stream, but we know everybody's gonna love it.
It has been one long day.
I hear you, Mr. Carroll.
Jimmy Trump 3D print.
It's huge, it's just me like
it's huge, like my hands.
How are you not a voiceover artist?
Jimmy's obviously the caboose.
Oh gosh, no, Calvin the Caboose. No, I'm not picking up the rear end of the train.
Skewed 3D is asking, third time now, is anybody here going to Earth? I'm not going to be able to.
I'm not going to be able to either.
I'm hashtag poor people.
I'm hashtag poor people with hashtag no time.
Your hashtag you blew your money going to Florida.
Hashtag I had a blast doing it anyway, so hashtag suck it.
You're like, suck my big black. Never mind. I can't do that. Not on the stream. You remember that? Was it Reno 911?
I never watched it.
Oh my god, that thing was so funny. I'll tell you about it after the stream.
The Michigan Science says, community Jimmy Trump. We need to print a piece, and it can be huge. It'd be like huge, big in my hands.
Skip these says, "What a bummer! I'm in Florida. Why didn't you speak up while you're in Florida, man? You could have met up with them. What's wrong with you, man?
I was in Northwest Florida. I was right around Pensacola.
You tree hugging hippie.
Driving my friends with you, man? In Malibu. Come on.
Paul said he's not going. Rover says no money to go. White Tigers 18 says that. Oh, sass. Okay, never mind. It's getting real. Paul says hate to fly.
I don't mind flying. It's just because of my knee. It's not fun.
I had to look at White Tigers' comment there one last time because I didn't notice the S in front of it at the moment. And as I was getting ready to read it, I noticed the S, which could have been a very awkward situation had I not noticed the S.
Good work. You got Jimmy, you know.
That's when you know it's time for glasses.
You need a huge monitor, you know.
You need a huge monitor and huge glasses. Huge. Like my hands.
I give up.
Mr. Carroll Science says can't afford it. White Tigers 18. Mine's out of the gutter, boys.
You need to give her a wrench, okay? Give her a wrench, Jimmy. Give her a wrench.
She needs a wrench.
She needs a wrench. She has a wrench on my stream.
She has a wrench. Go ahead and say something, White Tigress. Show us your wrench.
Welcome to the wrenching world.
Job is going pretty good. Still a lot to learn, but I'm getting there. Seems like every day there's something new that comes up, and it's like, okay, now how do I do this?
All I can say is hats off to you for taking that on. It's not easy, but you know.
Okay, what that means, White Tigers, is now whenever somebody says something bad, you can like do something to them. As I put it, you can beat somebody over the head with a wrench.
Beat him over the head with a wrench for 300 seconds.
Yeah, make 3D models would be cool to have someone I can send ZBrush models to for them to print and share. That's a good idea.
That'd be cool. Especially, I do feel bad for designers who do not have access to a 3D printer easily. It does make things more difficult, but if you can find people who are willing to, you know, do that, it's definitely handy.
Ian says, as Maker's Muse says, just whip it out and take a photo.
He means the wrench.
Paul's asking how your job is going.
Currently, my job is boxing up my mountains of stuff, sorting through my mountains of stuff, and slowly moving my stuff out of Grandma's house. That's my job at the moment, besides YouTube. But that doesn't pay.
Yeah, YouTube is like that job that you still qualify for the soup line.
I walk around during the day with a broom and a trash can, and I sweep up crap, and then I get a free meal at the end of the day.
You can take your task cam and your microphone and your camera, walk to the unemployment line. Oh, that's right. You can't because you don't have enough to collect the unemployment. Can I be on Obamacare, please?
It reminds me of that.
I'm going to say, and how do you plan on paying for it?
I still love the scene, and It's Always Sunny in Philly when Dee and Dennis go to the welfare office, and he's like, "Hi, I'm a recovering crack addict, and this is my sister. Can we get a welfare?" It was so bad.
Horrible.
Horrible.
Yes,
Oh, man.
the Skid 3D. Agree. It's the reason why I got the job I got, because now I can get on different insurance. You make out here in California, you make over, in my case, it went $3,000 over what the estimated income was supposed to be. And because of that, they fined me $1,400 because of the healthcare. So I am just glad to be off of that.
Yeah, but the whole thing was well-intentioned, and without getting political, it
Yeah.
was well-intentioned, but it was horridly executed. And in the end, I just think it made things worse in general than it solved, if you know what I mean.
The thing is, it's meant to help those who don't have the means to make it any further. At the same time, it traps those who are on it to make it where you can't get any further. If you catch my drift, it's like you're in this position, so stay there. If you find a way of getting out of that position, then we're going to make you pay for it.
Like they intentionally designed it to trap you in there so you couldn't have any upward mobility, which to me is just lame. It's not like with my private health insurance where if I wanted to get into a different plan, I can just call up the insurance company and say, "Hi, can you lower me or can you raise me?" And then just pay the difference, you know.
And don't get me wrong, the insurance I was on was not free insurance. I paid monthly payments on it, and it was reasonable. But yeah, the payback part of it, that was like, man.
Elon said the NHS, which is the National Health Service out in England, is great depending upon where you live. And honestly, I've seen documentaries. There's one on Netflix called, I think, 60 Minutes to Live, which documents like extremely bad trauma cases. And there's literally NHS doctors who can do, I kid you not, like open heart surgery in the middle of a street if somebody needs it on their chest to save their life. It's just like, this is like battlefield medicine stuff that they can do now and save people's lives. And sadly, not everybody on the show lives, but it's insane. You know, they're crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
much respect to those hospital staff, because I've seen documentaries about it. I mean, they get all kinds of just wackadoodle cases in there, you know.
Paul's asking, said he just ordered Maker Geeks filament. Are they any good? I honestly don't know. I've never tried it.
Honestly, I've used a little bit of Maker Geeks filament that I received from other people, and it was decent. The only thing is, I've never personally ordered from them, but I've heard ordering from them, some people have absolutely no problems. And there are times people have had to wait months for their order and it never came. They had to file a dispute with their PayPal and credit card company, and they finally got refunded. So I don't know. I can't say either way because I personally never ordered from them. But given the bad track record that they have that's publicly known and a very bad rating with the Better Business Bureau, I personally would not order filament directly from them. I tend to just stick with Protopasta, or, I mean, I have so much filament at the house now. Forget it, you know.
Mr. Carl Science said he's used a lot of it. It's okay, but print temps are pretty high, which can cause issues.
I mean, the Raptor PLA that I have that I use to make the orange rig that White Tigress has, it's it likes to print at about they say 220 to 235 C for PLA, while Protopasta and Matter Hackers and Color Fab stuff's like 190 to 220. So I didn't notice any higher heat resistance because of the higher printing temperature, but it's just odd that it wants to print that hot. You know, and everybody's machine is different, but it was just weird.
Well, my friend, it is 9:04. You want to call it?
Well, want to go another like 10 minutes and then we call it at 9:15?
Sure.
Why not? Heist 8 asks, anyone used any antimicrobial filaments?
I never have.
I never have. The concept, though, makes sense. And I think it's actually a cool concept. I think it's my only concern with it is obviously because you have the layers, you're going to have that gap in there. I'm kind of simulating with my knuckles. You're going to have that gap in there, and that is always going to trap stuff. So even if it's antimicrobial, it would only be probably on the surface that it's touching. So while it's a cool concept, I really don't know if it's that practical or if it's more just like marketing, if you know what I mean.
Andy Outdoor Nerd, what are you going to call it, Jimmy? Call what?
I think he meant, are we going to call it the stream or not?
Oh.
Nah, we're just going to go on a little more.
We'll go a little bit longer and then we'll call it off. We'll call it a night.
Yeah, it is pretty spendy. I mean, if I look it up right now, antimicrobial filament.
Now, when they say antimicrobial, may I ask what makes it what makes it like that? Does it have some kind of a anti whatever built into it, or is it just considered sterilized, or what's the catch?
I believe it either contains there's actually some plastic containers that my mom has that contain trace amounts of silver in them, which prevents bacterial growth and stuff, and it actually does keep things lasting longer. So there's that, which is a possibility. It could be a chemical that's in the plastic itself. I'm not 100% sure how it does it. I'm trying to actually look it up right now and see what it says.
Have a good one, Paul. Have a good one, Skewed 3D. Thank you for joining, guys.
A good one. It's kind of hard to figure out because it's probably pretty proprietary.
Rover says it has silver in it.
That's what I was thinking. Silver or maybe trace amounts of copper or something that's going to stop it from doing that.
Or as Ewan says, or does it? Bum, bum, bum. White Tiger 18's out. Have a good one.
A good one. Hopefully see you tomorrow night so we can edit more. Somebody went to New Zealand and shot like an hour and a half's worth of footage that I have to dig through to edit.
You had to say where she went. Now all of our friends over in Australia are going to say, she went where? Why did she go to New Zealand? Why would anybody go to New Zealand?
Well, let's just say based off the footage that I saw, it wasn't half bad.
You're not supposed to say that out loud. We have friends in Australia. You realize this, right?
Yeah. Hopefully they're not watching right now.
Yeah, but they'll be watching later. And when they do, they're going to say, you haters! We hate you all! See, we went from 13 viewers down to 10 just because of that. Lord of the Rings was filmed in New Zealand according to Mr. Carroll Science. That's cool.
Yeah, I may or may not have seen the footage that was shot at Hobbiton. It might be really cool, even though I've never seen the Lord of the Rings. I'm like, that's pretty tight.
That's cool.
Lots of tight stuff.
Tight. That's a tight stuff up in here. You know I want to go all Hodge twins, right?
Oh yeah. Yep. You know what would actually be funny though, to do that as an intro. What I've wanted to do is take, you know how Chick-fil-A nuggets come in a little box?
Yeah.
Well, a friend of mine that I know is completely addicted to Chick-fil-A chicken nuggets. So I was thinking of doing was buying the nuggets, making a little holder for the box, and then putting holders for like the sauce packets on the ends, and then making it like a little picnic basket with like a fold-up handle or something, and then mailing it out to her. So I was thinking for the intro, it'd be hilarious if we were in the Chick-fil-A parking lot, and I pull out the holder and I'm like, look at that, look at that. Oh yeah, look at that right there. Want your sauce and your nugs. Oh yeah. And then we cut to the intro.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at the steam roll off that. Look at that. Respect it.
How they got so many?
That's still one of my favorite videos right there when he's showing off the mashed potatoes from Popeyes. Handy outdoor handy outdoor nerd is out. Have a good one, my friend.
Jimmy's losing it.
Yes. It has been a long day.
Same
Truck
here.
came today at around 12 o'clock. All the other guys were busy, so I had to unload the truck myself again. Fun.
Cool.
Although they did teach me a cool trick a few weeks ago. Jose, one of the guys that works for me, he took one of the tires, threw it down the bed of the truck, because by the time the truck gets to us, other stores have already pulled out a lot of the merchandise, so the tires can be anywhere from the halfway point to further up in the truck. And like today, it was, there was maybe another 15, 20 feet of merchandise at the very front of the truck, and the tires were all the way there. And it's a 40-foot truck. So you take a tire, you throw it down on the bed on the floor, pick up another tire, and you throw it down at an angle at the edge of the other tire. And when you do, it just rolls, just takes off perfectly straight.
That is crazy.
Yeah. So you can take and just go thump, thump, and they just roll right out the end of the truck, land on the concrete. And where it parks, it rolls, it hits the wall, and when it does, it falls down. So it works out perfectly.
I remember watching Extreme Machines as a kid, and it was the Formula One. So the guys would literally have like two tires with rims stacked on top of each other, and somehow they could rotate the top tire and keep the bottom one in there and just go rolling through the frame like it's no big deal with two tires at once. And I'm like, I could barely roll one tire. How are you doing two? Now I understand F1 tires are a lot wider than regular tires, but still trying to keep those two balanced with one that can go, that isn't easy.
Hey, John, how you doing? Happy birthday. He had a birthday about a day or so back.
Oh, nice. Well, happy belated birthday then.
We, both of us, have been working with G-Tech for quite some time. I think John started with them long before I ever got started with them.
Nice. Yeah, because I honestly didn't know about G-Tech until you.
Really?
Yeah. Now, mind you, I wasn't like keeping up with all the printer companies, because after a certain point, you're just like, okay, seriously, I've seen enough Prusa style machines, I've seen enough Deltas, I've seen enough Cartesian, I've seen enough, that sort of thing. But
well, did you feel that way whenever Prusa came out with his own?
Yep.
John's asking if we're going to make it to Earth. No, unfortunately, I'm not. Should we Calvin are losing their hoonies? Yes, John. There's ongoing thing where Angus got a Huni printer, and I remember the very first post he ever had about it, and I'm like, I had to read that twice because I could have sworn it said horny.
I read the same thing, and I'm like, come on, somebody hacked his account. And I went back and I read it slower, and I'm like, oh,
Huni. So the joke has been miso Huni.
because Jimmy really wants to get his hands on one.
I really want to see a Huni. I just want to see one. I never will, but I really would like to see one.
Hey, never say never. You never know.
I am completely prepared for it.
We
Gotta
got
use
Jeff in the
protection, you know.
house.
Gotta use protection.
Thanks for killing my announcement that Jeff is in the house.
Jeff's in the house. What's up, Jeff?
What's up, dude? Okay, every time you bring out the fireball, it reminds me we still need to shoot the episode with the C-Dub Fire Killer like 10,000 or something.
Yes, we do. I still have the parts for all that.
Don't make me come down there and build it for you. I still have the sprinkler heads at the house sitting there doing nothing.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yeah. You gotta at least try and do something with that because it would be pretty fun.
Yeah, it would. It'd be really fun to do that.
You know what I would do is I would totally try and make some kind of like at least temporarily fireproof case for the camera. So if it's sitting like right next to it, probably just make like a high temp HDPLA case and then wrap the camera in aluminum foil, then wrap the case a little bit more. It'd be fine.
Ewan has this obsession with seeing me get electrocuted. He wants to see me have hair like Calvin. I kind of want to get Jimmy shocked by a Huni. Then he'd be Huni and stiff.
It's about as bad as Eddie with me and drowning every time he watches my show intro. You shouldn't go watch the Extras channel because they go from not drowning to drowning, supposedly.
Have you jumped in the water with that new Maker coin, by the way?
Have not yet.
Did you take it with you?
My backpack was getting so full with my laptop and other stuff that I just decided. Plus, I didn't want any potential issues with the TSA with it. I'm just like, you know what? I'm fine.
3D print show. Watching Face Off and watching you guys on the phone. LOL printing as well.
That's our guy Jeff right there, multitasking like a boss.
Like a boss. Because I'm boss. Ever show you that video?
He did. So Elon's saying soggy Calvin and fried Jimmy don't mix. Yeah, you don't know.
That sounds wrong. Hey, Cal, I don't know how interested you are, but maybe I can show you the stuff I work on. You can give me ideas on stuff you want to print. Don't know how to contact you, but let me know. That's what's best. There you go.
Put in my Twitter in there. So, yeah, I honestly, right now, I'll be perfectly honest, I'm going to be crazy busy doing 3D prints that I'm hopefully going to be able to film for people. But at the same time, I'd definitely be happy to give suggestions and stuff. I mean, I'm always down for that. It's just right now I can't make any promises that I can print anything, but I can definitely look at stuff and go, oh, that's cool, or here's some ideas and stuff. I will say that I am a huge fan of guinea pigs. I used to have 2 of them as pets when I was younger. And the only person I've ever found who's modeled them is Bazooka Plasma on Thingiverse. So if anybody wants to design some more like somewhat correct models of them, I would gladly check them out and probably print them as well. I just like everything else, I just haven't had time yet.
Ewan says Soggy Calvin and Hooney Jimmy.
Oh gosh.
Me so Hooney. Mr. Carol Science, one of my printers is down and have no idea how to fix it. It's driving me crazy. Oh man. What exactly is wrong with it? Maybe we can help you out with it.
Yeah, seriously. We could do it. We could do a private stream one day and try and help you fix it. Or do a live stream if you're down for it. That'd be fun, actually. Diagnosing somebody's printer live on the show.
That'd be cool. In fact, you got a camera close by. Let's do this thing. I'll send you the link.
It's gonna be fun.
The extruder skips on the right side only.
That's weird. Check. My number one rule is if an extruder is clicking or slipping, double check that the feeder gear is not full of crap. Check the nozzle isn't clogged, and check to make sure that that the extruder tension arm is actually pushing the filament into the gear, because I've had it happen where it's kind of worked itself loose and it looks like it's pressing into it, but it's really just kind of angling away. Those would be my number one. Those might be your problem points, you know.
Other thing too is if you've been printing with like the metal filaments of any kind or carbon fiber, it might have wore down the gear on the extruder as well. It doesn't have a tension arm.
What printer is it?
It's injected molded.
It should have a tension arm. Some way of tensioning it.
It's that 30-second delay.
I know. But no, I mean, honestly, if you're down one of these times to do a live thing, we would gladly do a live
CTC riprap Prusa clone. Is King Random still in the house?
Don't know.
I haven't seen him on here for a little bit. I know he's got a CTC.
Let me just look it up really fast.
My D200, I haven't run it for a while. I need to get it back up and going again. I've been doing so much with the A30 that I've kind of lost track. Chatbot shut me down. What?
I didn't see anything get flagged.
Me either.
So I found the forum post about CTC RepRap. I don't know if this is exactly your thing, but it might at least start you in the right direction. Sorry, I'm like trying to juggle 10 things at once here.
Here, I'll fix that for you, Mr. Carol Science. Now you won't have that problem.
So Heist said, could bumping up the voltage to the driver a bit help? Might. I mean, here's the other question. Does the extruder motor spin to begin with? If it does, if it doesn't, if it just sits there and goes, you probably have a bad driver or a bad cable.
That could be too.
I mean, the big thing is double check that it's even functioning to begin with. Because if it isn't, then usually it's a bad cable, but you might have a bad driver. So maybe you can swap drivers with the power off, like number them so that way you know but that might be an option because you might have a dead driver, but it didn't shoot sparks and nuke itself like yours did on the Zone Star, which was epic.
Hey, John, from what I understand, I'm not for sure if it's true or not, but from what I understand, they use something like a hot glue to put that nozzle together, is the reason why it's doing that. And I don't understand why they would do such a thing. But I have had some prints have that, and then other prints didn't. So I honestly don't know if that's what's causing that, or if it's just was. I always thought it was just burnt filament, but I'm hearing more and more that it's stuff actually leaking out from the nozzle.
Rich Carroll Science says it spins normal in the left side, but once the X gets past a certain point, it stops extruding. That to me sounds like a bad cable. Because the thing is, if one of the pin connections to the motor goes bad, the motor can't complete a revolution because of the way steppers work, having the coils inside. Check your cable if you have a multimeter with continuity. You can take the cable out and actually kind of bend it in the position that it is when it stops working. And if you have a continuity check on your multimeter, to be able to tell really quickly. Or if you can easily get a cable, or you can just swap the cable, try doing that, because it sounds to me like it's a bad cable, like there's a bad connection in the cable. But if you can just get a new cable for a couple of bucks, I think that might solve the problem. Don't quote me on it, but it might. And then double check as well that the strain release are set up properly, that it's not putting excess movement and wear on a cable that would cause it to do that.
Yeah, it could very easily be a broken wire in the cable, and then it'll make contact until it gets to a certain point, and then it just breaks.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. So don't quote me on it, but given the problems that you're mentioning, that seems the most likely.
Totally quote him on it.
Gets this angry tweet later. It wasn't the cable, you idiot.
Ewan says, get Jimmy to whisper at it while stroking it. That should scare it into working. There, Mr. Printer. There.
This is the show after 9:15.
It's getting about time for most of our audience to start waking up in Europe, and they're gonna be like, "What in the world is going on here?"
Oh god. Oh.
Says, I saw your video about the E180 bed leveling thing. I was hoping your D200 was working so you could show me if it works on there as well. I cannot get the bed leveling wizard to work the way you did. It did for me. I did it exactly the same way as it did on the E180, and it seemed to work. Maybe it just was already level. I don't know, but it seemed like it did the trick.
I did like the leveling method that the G-Tech used of being assisted bed leveling. So that's pretty cool.
And I've also done the same thing with the A30. It has the same type of bed leveling calibration to it.
I like that because I do like the concept of automated bed leveling, but I don't know. I guess I've just heard too many problems with people having issues with probes and this and that and the other. So to me, it seems redundant, and it's also nice because you can set your own custom bed height very quickly based off the thickness of the paper or cardstock or cardboard or foam sheet or ruler that you're using.
Mr. Carol Science, I tried to push the filament in manually on the right side, and it starts clicking and pushes back. That sounds like a clog. And there's two things to watch for. There's number one, your nozzle can be completely clear, but it could be the Teflon tube going into the hot end that can actually have collapsed or somehow messed up, and which can cause a clog.
Elon said, in the meantime, people are complaining about the MK3 causing the newcomers thinking they have to calibrate their extruder with a 20 millimeter cube. It's getting annoying because they are starting to give false information. Yeah. As Tom from Tom's 3DP, super awesome guy that we met at Maker Faire, said in his calibration video, he goes, you need to calibrate the extruder differently by running a set amount of filament in, measuring that amount and checking it, because you could get a machine that's inaccurate on the XY axes to work right, you know, but it's not, but then you're going to have the extruder compensating for it. What I would do to check the XY axes is just get like a dial test indicator and make a stand for it, and then tell the axis to move, say, 10 millimeters or 20 millimeters, depending upon what the travel on it is, then compare what the actual measured travel is over a couple of runs and average it to what it theoretically should be doing, and then adjust from there.
Yeah. Is that the CTC a i3 clone?
Yeah. Heist is asking, have I seen the new TiVo Flash? Actually, I have not. Let me look it up just for fun.
I wish TiVo would work with me directly.
Huh.
I like that TiVo Tarantula.
I actually have to admit that I kind of gladly have eaten my words, at least based off of the one that you received. It does seem like they've improved their quality to an extent.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying that they're, you know, amazing machines at this point. They still take a fair bit of work to get going. But for somebody who's, you know, wants to tinker, they seem like a very good low-cost platform.
Well, it's one of those things where if you throw about $30 at it, you can make it into a great printer.
Yeah,
so I'm trying to look up that CTC. I'm trying to find one that's got the dual extrusion so I can get an idea of how it's set up.
So I said it wrong. It's technically Hesitate. I'm looking at the new TiVo Flash right here while Jimmy's doing that. And I got to admit, that is actually a really nice looking machine. They got they get points for me in the style department. Most 3D printers, it's just like, hi, it just works. But this one actually has got like a nice, looks like, I mean, you probably need an enclosure.
That's a sexy looking machine.
Yeah. No, wow. If that
Come on, TiVo. Come on, TiVo. You come on. You know I'm going to give you a fair shake, please.
I mean, honestly, it looks nice. I give them points in the style department because most of these printers, unless it's like an Ultimaker,
look at how thick that frame is, man.
I know.
What is that? That's not 20 by 40. That's more like 40 by something else.
Hey,
like 40 by 80?
Beefy frame ain't a bad thing.
No, that's not bad at all. What's the print size on that?
235 by 235 by 250. So it's about 9 1/4 by 9 1/4 by probably like 11 something. Thereabouts, I think. Bigger than my Ultimaker.
Oh, size that one up a little bit. They got a makings of a really good basic setup for a really big printer right there.
Well, have you seen like the massive G-Tech, G-Max, like the supersized one that G-Create has?
No.
Let me find a on Instagram. It is absolutely insane. Sorry, I gotta like a friend's photo first. Okay.
Back to the 1.5 plus.
No, this is a custom built in-house machine that they've got. Here, I'll link to it. Literally, they took and they made the x-axis into the y-axis, and they took the y-axis. They pretty much took the equivalent stock material of 2 G-Techs, put it together, and made a machine with a ridiculous, what was originally the y-axis, and technically the x-axis still. It's big. I want to try and explain it. Just look at the link in the chat. It is It is nuts. It's a video, so you can actually see what it looks like when it prints.
I'm still trying to find the CTC. Having luck, I'm trying to find the extruder on it. Has that doesn't have two separate does that have two separate hot ends on it? Or is it a single hot end?
I don't know. He mentions, sounds like there's two of them, but I could be wrong.
Because all the ones I'm finding from CTC have two separate hot ends.
Sounds like it because he's mentioning there's a left and a right, and one of them works and one of them doesn't.
It could very easily be a damaged Teflon tube in the one hot end.
Yeah, I mean, if you can take the hot end apart, you'll probably find a nice cooked piece of Teflon in there. Because you got to remember,
with mine, if I print like at the higher temperatures, it'll melt that Teflon tube.
Yeah, my Ultimaker used 20% glass filled Teflon, which held up better and it had thicker walls. But even over time, that would get oval shape just from the filament rubbing against it a whole lot.
Not dual extrusion. It prints a line from left to right. It suddenly cuts out. That's almost gotta be a cable.
I vote it's a cable.
Yeah, because that's the way my D200 did. Whenever the cable went out on it, it was printing all of a sudden just stop. The motion would just stop until it came back, and then when it came back, it would kick back in again. That was with just moving the stepper motor for one of the axes. I forget if it was Y or X.
Yeah, that's what I vote too.
Well, my friend, I am toasted. I gotta get around. I gotta get up at 6:30 in the morning, and I still got a bunch of stuff to do before I go to bed.
So, in conclusion, there's a good point. Check the bed level. If it's too close on one side, it will jam. That is possible too, but I'm thinking this sounds more like a cable related issue. But if in doubt, it isn't a bad idea to double check your bed leveling as well if you're just doing general maintenance on the machine, just in case.
Ian wants to know, anyone filled a 3D print with sand water? I've done it with a clear ABS ball, filling it with liquid they use to show storm formation. ABS smoothed it too.
This right here, my mini tripod that I threw down with, is actually filled with sand. You can't hear it because it's full. It's not as good as lead shot or steel shot for weight, but I decided, so I wouldn't have security freaking out over what the heck is in there, I decided I'd try sand, which it works, but it's not as good. So I have done prints filled, but this is purely for weight reasons, not for aesthetic reasons, though.
So when are you flying home?
Thursday.
Want to put you on the no-fly list?
No. I need to check my mailbox when I get home, because hopefully there's a really important letter in there that determines my future effectively.
I just wanted to take in someday whenever you're getting ready to fly, just kind of go la, 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 start saying all kinds of stuff, you know, and just get them where they want to, like, put the rubber glove on. And
you want to know something funny? When I was flying out of Pensacola, I usually have, I'm not going to say what part of me, I usually have a certain part of me always flash up as really dense on the scanner. And I always get like this really embarrassed TSA agent. I'm just like, I make it even better because I'm like,
just what part is the part that's very dense, Calvin?
You got to remember, these scanners work off of relative density. So if they see something more dense than the other stuff, it's going to flag it.
Like Ewan says, partially filled with sand. I'm sure that's not what when he posted that. I'm sure this is what thought he was posting about.
Oh gosh, you guys are horrible. No, but I always get this like really awkward TSA agent always has to pat me down there, and I'm like, it happens practically every time I fly. Don't know if that makes it any better or not, but it's just what happens half the time. So
Well, unlike Jerry, it seems like every single time he flies, they pull him to the side and say, "Okay, boy, turn your head and cough."
that has got to suck.
Even cough.
Oh good gosh.
Let's call it, my friend. I need to get around.
I do too. I am crashing fast.
Thank you guys so much for joining. We cannot thank you enough. We really appreciate it. This is always the highlight of our week is to get on here and visit and talk with you guys and visit.
No, the highlight of Jimmy's week is to come on here and totally embarrass the. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's the other part of the highlight of it is to just like totally let's rag on Calvin and talk about his poofy hair. It's a little bit of poof here, a little bit of poof there. Go and see the stylist, so that they can take it to a little snippy here, little snippy there.
Yeah. Hey, tomorrow I get to shove my knee inside a giant magnetic tube. That's gonna be fun.
Oh, they're not just going to stick your knee in there; they're just going to stick your whole body in there, and then they say they're doing your knee.
Nah, I've had my knee done before. The rest of me hangs out.
Oh goodness, I could totally go somewhere, but I won't. I can't. Not while this is still live. As soon as we go off, I'm totally going there.
Oh gosh, what have you done?
Guys, take care. We'll see you next week.
Later.